Hey YouTube, here's a review for Streamlight macrostream USB. So here's another great Streamlight. Streamlight and Surefires are pretty much the only flashlights I really look at now. I know that Olight is pretty popular company out there, and I have one. Oh, I forget the night eyes. No, that doesn't sound right. Anyways, there was one that had a magnetic base and a swivel head that I liked when I work on equipment, just because you have that base to stick onto different parts without buying another attachment like Streamlight has for those stingers. And granted, it's a bigger flashlight, but this is my EDC, my everyday carry, which I carry every day. This is about 4 months, at least four, probably longer than that, 6 months old. And for every day, my pocket flashlights, I like Streamlights. The Surefires, for the size and the lumens that you get, you don't get as much bang for your buck. These are more compact, and you get a lot more lumens out of them. And the battery life. Well, not only the battery life, but also the type of batteries. As this is also an EDC one, and I just replaced this one because my son lost one. But I was carrying the same exact one. I just bought the same one again. But this one is also, what I like about it, it's a dual fuel, so you can run it on CR, the 123As, and the, like it says, what is it, AA. So there's a spring-loaded, like a base when you take off in the battery compartment, and it can accept both. So that's what I like, that flexibility. And the two things that draw me to that was, the flexibility of the dual fuel, and that's what I run actually on my AR, is a Surefire, that dual fuel Scout, I think it's called. So yeah, like having options, right? And runs lithium and alkaline. So, when you might not have one or the other, like I said, just nice to have those options. And also this clip. I first flashlight had this clip was a small little coast light that I bought from AutoZone. Had a free reward, and I found that. And yeah, I used to wear it on my hat and in my pocket, and it worked really well. And especially working around, vehicles, or going fishing at night, or low vis times, and I wear a hat a lot, and it seems to work out. So yeah, this clip goes both ways, whether you want to put it on your hat pocket, shirt pockets, upside down, which way, switch up, switch down, it'll do it. So once again, just having those options is really nice. What is this one called? The Protac 1L. This one came with this little case. I just keep it there in the garage right now, and I have another one in my inside the house that I carry. So I bought two at a time once I replaced it. One to keep in the garage, and one to have my EDC knife. Sorry, my EDC flashlight. But I like this one just because it's a little bit slimmer, and at night, I don't do it every night. Takes that micro USB, and I'd say thus far, I probably charge it about once a week. Yep, and yeah. So it has pretty good lumen output, and I like something in the 350 to 500 range for an EDC, just because you still need that higher lumen count, because if it's a true EDC light, then you're going to be using it most likely in day at nighttime, because yes, what do you need a flashlight in the daytime for? Well, you have dark places underneath, covers, or inside different areas where it's limited lighting. Even though it's sunlight, there's pure daylight outside, there are places that you're still going to need the additional illumination. And so it's nice to have a little bit higher on the lumen side. 500 I feel like is great, but 350 is good. And even 350 for, I've had weapon lights that were 350. And yeah, when you're talking about close quarters and when it's actually dark, 350 is quite a lot, especially with the focus beam. So yeah, I know everyone's having, they have lumen wars of, this one has 900, this one has 1,000. Well, sometimes you may not want that much because 1,500 lumens, you know, inside a hallway, it's pretty bright and it's enough to blind you. Yeah, you might blind the bad guy, but consider your vision as well. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. But yeah, for the EDC, yeah, 350 to 500 tends to be pretty good, and it's got a good enough beam pattern where it's not super focused, and it does have that good amount of spill. This one is a little bit. You can already tell that this one does have a wider beam pattern on the protac 1L versus the macrostream, but also the head on the macrostream is smaller too. But yeah, it's a sleeker design. It's got a rechargeable, looks like almost like a double A. You probably can run a double A. You know what? I'm gonna go grab one real quick, and I will tell you what if it will or not. Hold on. All right, so I just grabbed a these double A's. Just one, and it will not work, which is unfortunate. Be nice, Streamlight. That's a little disappointing, actually. So it's not a dual fuel. And looking at the size, this is the blue one, Streamlight. That's the one that came with it. It's about quarter-inch shorter. Now the contacts do touch this AA battery, but for some reason it does not work. It's a little disappointing, but yeah, at the same time, yeah, I don't remember it being advertised as dual fuel, so, but I'm sure they could have made it. I mean, they could have made a battery that is a AA size, or same thing like on this protac 1L with that spring-loaded contact pad that's down here. It can fit the 123s or AA. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been that hard. You know what? Maybe next season. But it does not work. It's fine. Like I said, the battery does, on this rechargeable one, it does last. It lasts me, at least a week of, light use. And granted, if I had it for a project where I was running it for extended periods of time, yeah, you'd probably see it, start dimming down on you. And in that case, I think when I did use it on a longer project, you're probably recharging it within, 2-3 days or something. So it just depends as you use it. So, but yeah, it does not work with the alkaline AA battery. Even though it does seem like it is actually making contact with both the positive and negative. So, yeah. But yeah, on this one, it is advertised as dual fuel. It does work. So, yeah, like I said, this one's a little bit more bulkier in your pocket, but if you carry it in your pants pocket, this is not going to make a difference. Now, I will say I've carried lights in my shirt pockets before, and yeah, I want something as light as possible. Even the blade I would carry, so I'd carry a pen, a blade, and a light. And the blade I would carry, it had a plastic handle, and it was just like a 2.5-2.75 inch blade with a plastic handle and a plastic clip, so as light as possible, because I want as little weight as possible in my shirt pocket. Let me clarify, my shirt pocket, and the lightest, slimmest light possible, but still had somewhat decent lumens. Yeah, in the daytime. So yeah, but in your pants, no, this is not going to make any noticeable difference, and If it is at first, you'll get used to it. You won't know the difference. You know, give it some time. I think that's, you know, that's something that I felt like I was just contemplating when I bought this Benchmade Infidel automatic knife. And I was like, well, on this side, it feels a little slick and yada yada. I was just kind of nitpicking it to death. I was like, you know what? It's a pocket knife. You know, this side is where you're going to hold it. And for some reason, you don't like the color or whatnot, but it's a knife, right? It's a simple tool. And I just felt like I was just nitpicking way too much. And I was like, let me just go ahead and get it. You know, I'll get used to it. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, big whoop, but right. If you think the color is atrocious, sure, that might be a reason for you not to buy it. Granted, the price, like, you know, but yeah, I don't want to. You know, the details are important in some things, but if you're talking about carrying this light versus this light, if you had to pick one, I would just. This is the one. Like I said, this is the third one that I have. My son lost one in a big old field at nighttime, and then I bought two again to replace the one that he lost. This is the one that I keep in the garage, and the other one I keep in my box with my keys and this flashlight, and that I carry every day as well. I go between this one and that one depending. Yeah, I think they're both pretty close to both the same lumen output. So, yeah. Yeah, both great lights. Like I said, from Streamlight. I prefer for EDC lights, the Streamlights, versus a Surefire. Those are two primary companies that I look to for my flashlight needs, whether it's EDC or for a some sort of firearm. But firearms, I do prefer typically the Surefires. No, actually no. On my Staccato, I do have the Streamlight one, so works really well. But, yep, that's the review for these two lights. Both great. You know, if you had to pick one, that dual fuel one is really great. So, yeah, running lithiums or AA batteries, both pretty much now found just about everywhere. That 123 is pretty popular. And that was my concerns early on with the 123 is they're expensive and harder to find, but now they're more readily available and cheaper. So, yeah. But this is a slimmer option, and it has a rechargeable. It has a USB, and with a little nice O-ring, it is a very tight fit that covers it up. Not like I've put this thing through water or anything, but yeah, it's held up just fine. But, all right, I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Bye.